Okay, I'm just gonna get properly set up. I gotta make sure this is working. Okay, I'm just gonna get properly set up. I gotta make sure this is working. That is working. Cool. Just listen to myself again. All right, so sweet souls, we are doing an all signs reading. This is the career reading that nobody asked for, but I do need to do a career reading on this channel, so we're going to do this one. Now, I highly recommend for this reading you focus on your Saturn or 10th house sign. Bonus points if it's the same thing. Now, you don't have to do that. If you don't want to look up your natal chart and you don't know it on like off the dome, you can by all means just use the sign that is the most familiar to you. But as always, I encourage you to practice discernment. Take what resonates, don't let the rest take from you. That old story. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle out the cards and we'll have a look at who is going to be first. So I'm using this deck, which you guys are probably very familiar with. And we'll see what signs come out first. So Capricorn's first today. Wow. Sagittarius is second. How will I do this? I should have done it the other way around. Oh well. Anyway, so Capricorn's first, Sagittarius is second. Remember, we don't have a Libra card. We only have the 7th house instead. So when the 7th house comes out, that's Libra. Hi, Blooming with Mel. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, that's so sweet. Sending you so much love. How cool that we're in different parts of the world. Leo is third. I hope you're well too. I hope you're looking after yourself. Chiron, nope. Scorpio is fourth. Wow. Cancer. We got Cancer fifth. Aries is sixth. Taurus is going to be 7th. Virgo is 8th. Pisces is 9th. Gemini is 10th. Who's left? Aquarius is 11th, which means Libra is going to be last. Wow, cool. Okay, so that is our order. I won't update it now, I'll update it at the end. We're starting with Capricorn. Oh, bless Chloe. Hi, oh my gosh, I was so carried away with shuffling I didn't actually look over. Yay, I'm so glad you got to catch me. Welcome, Burnt Lasagna. Welcome, Chloe. Crazy. Oh, sending so much love your way. I hope this reading is helpful and I hope you're able to, well, keep in mind, because it's live, you don't have to stay. If you've got other things to do, that's fine. I'm going to publish this straight after I'm finished and you're welcome to watch it back. I'll update the timestamps as soon as we're done here pretty much. So let's bring this down. We'll try to put this out of the way a little bit. There we go. Oops. Okay. So starting with Capricorn, how apt to start with Capricorn for a career reading. That's insane. Okay, let's have a look at what Capricorn needs to know when it comes to their career. I want to use cards that are just straight to the point, so we're probably going to stick to Old Faithful, the Celestial Bodies Oracle deck, and I'm going to use the Shadow Work deck that I've been using a lot lately. Spirit, what does Capricorn need to know when it comes to their career? Okay, we have one. Wow. The back of the deck is the 10th house reverse. So it feels like now is the time to start considering taking bigger risks when it comes to career, Capricorn. At the time that you're seeing this reading, and I just want to say, especially legally speaking, If it is too risky, don't rely on a tarot reading. Make sure you're getting professional advice and professional support as well. But if there's something that you've been thinking about doing for a while now, it feels like you're being encouraged to start, because there's huge redevelopments being highlighted here in your career. The 10th house reversed is about trying to redefine, or again just reconfigure, how is this all coming together. It could be because of a work lifestyle balance that's out of whack and needing to reassess duties and responsibilities within the workplace so that you have time at home to be a human being rather than a job title. But I also think that this is about reevaluating career choices, career direction, and career growth. How much have you experienced in those three areas recently, and what can you do to maximize that? So one is implying a new beginning in your career, and it's also implying that you are the one that has the solutions to any of the challenges that you're facing. So it's time to take accountability, it's time to step up, and it's time to really act on some of the ideas that you've been having. We're going to use this tarot deck now just to clarify, what does Capricorn need to know about their career right now? There's also emphasis here on solo work or one-on-one work, where you either have a lot of autonomy to do what you want to do on your terms, at your pace, or you have the ability to connect with people one-on-one instead of through a computer screen type of thing. Spirit, what else does Capricorn need to know about their career? Okay. Oh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, two new beginnings, one after the other. At the back of the tarot deck is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. These cards may as well just be mirroring each other. Sorry that that's a little bit out of frame. I just feel like the message is the same in tarot, but we'll talk about it from the Pentacles perspective specifically. Obviously, Pentacles very closely related to money, very strong signs of earthly possessions, and the Ace of Pentacles is saying, Capricorn, now is the time to make something out of those earthly opportunities and to apply your work ethic as well as your planning, and anything that you can do in terms of your time will be rewarded, but you do have to put in the work to see the results. So feels like I'm talking to the right sign when I give that kind of advice. So the Ace of Pentacles is more confirmation to really get started, or to put more time and effort into that new beginning, that new project, that new career, that new job, that new idea, and to gain physical traction. Don't just let it exist in your head or in your past. Make it something in your present that is contributing towards the future. With that being said, we have two cards here that are talking about massive reconfiguration in your future. The Ten of Pentacles reversed, similar to the 10th house, but instead of it just being about your career, the Ten of Pentacles highlights your legacy, the things that you feel proud of over time, and the kinds of stories or values and earthly collections that you're able to pass on when you are at that stage in life. So with that card reversed, you're at a point in your career where you have the chance to look at all of that, change it, change the direction, change the types of values or legacy that you want to leave, and even reconsider ways that you can work so that you don't have to work so hard for the rest of your life. Now is, I know, regardless of age, now is a good time to think about retirement and what that will look like. How can you give yourself a softer end of life? What will you need to do now to set yourself up for that, and to make sure that you have the experiences that you need in this lifetime outside of what you do for work and what you do for your career. So that is the reading that came through for you, Capricorn. Very interesting start to this reading. Very on brand with the theme, which is crazy. We're going to move forward now. Next, we have Sagittarius. So let's start with the Celestial Bodies cards. What does Sagittarius need to know about their career right now? And in the monthly reading, Sag, you've been going through it, so I hope that this reading is helpful. You've got a very different energy to Capricorn, so don't worry about that. Your message is definitely going to be delivered with respect to your sign. Spirit, what does Sagittarius need to know about their career right now? Okay. We have Taurus coming out first, and at the back of the deck is the solar eclipse card. Interesting. Because it's reversed, there's emphasis here on making the most with what you have. Like right now in your career, the best thing you can do is just try to be flexible. With Taurus reverse, you've got to be able to be accountable for the time that you take away from your career, your work, and for the ways in which you spend your money. So rather than working harder, the best thing you could do is just spend smarter so that you're not having to make up for anything that you weren't expecting to spend. So really, right now, this message is about being accountable but graceful towards self, because your circumstances at the time that you're seeing this reading are already challenging enough. Like, we don't need to add in an ambitious career goal right now. Whatever it is that you've been doing feels like it's about getting out of crisis mode or just finding a sense of fulfillment outside of work. Money is working for you right now. So the best way to make money work better for you is by being aware of how you're using money, what you're using money on, and making sure that you're not spending above your means and stressing yourself out by getting really low to breaking point financially. I do think with Taurus reverse, the whole point of money in your life right now is to just be a part of you taking care of yourself, getting back on track, and finding a new sense of personal purpose. I don't think work gives you purpose, Sag. I think you use money for your personal sense of purpose. And with this solar eclipse energy here, this is stuff that you know, and this is information that you already use, and this is what is going to help you seek out new opportunities if you are looking for a new job, keeping in mind that you don't want to be in a workplace that expects you to take work home, or that expects you to take work so seriously that it becomes a part of your identity. You need an environment that allows you to clock in and clock out and leave work where it is. So let's get Tarot to confirm. It can be very fulfilling, don't get me wrong. There's a sentimental aspect here with Taurus. It doesn't have to be brain-numbing work, but it just shouldn't be work that takes over your identity. You should have a rich sense of self outside of your career and enough free time to be able to have flexibility. So maybe even re-examine your availability at work and try to work out a more flexible schedule if you can. King of Cups reversed. Is this the card we're taking? What is going on here? Lots of cards. Two of Cups, compromise. You may need to negotiate at work. You may need to come to some sort of understanding or just accept a situation and try to find an alternative solution. I do think that with the Eight of Swords choosing to show first, the best advice I could give you right now is to stay focused on your bigger picture. As a Sagittarius, you're very multifaceted. You have a very bright sort of spark, and nobody expects you to exist within one space and for that to be your everything. And work is the same. Work is not expecting you to exist there and for that to be your everything. But you shouldn't have to justify what is meaningful, which I think may cause conflict in some places, because if you find, you know, being able to go home and watch a specific TV show at a specific time meaningful, and they ask you to stay back and minimize how important that is to you, then obviously that's going to grind your gears over time. It's that kind of stuff that feels small to other people but might be big to you, meaningful to you. And that's what Taurus kind of talks about as well, how these little moments, these little things are sentimental and important at the time to us, but other people don't really understand that. Other people are just like, why aren't you working more? If you need more money, you should work more. So with the King of Cups reversed, your biggest issue is trying to find a place that allows you to be you. It feels like you're either having to over-explain yourself or you're not being seen or heard, and your emotional being feels like it's always being grated on. You could also work in an industry that is very different to your personality. Maybe you're a softer spirit, like a more sensitive nature, but what you do for work might be really crass or might just be very jarring or even boring compared to how you would describe yourself. And so that could be difficult from time to time. So I think as long as you're using work to fund your experiences, you're always going to be able to feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It's only when work oversteps and when people kind of minimize who you are outside of work. That's what I'm seeing for you, Sag. That's what chose to come through. We're going to move forward. Let us have a look at Leo now. 2 fire signs back to back. I'm pretty sure Aries is like one of the last readings though. So Leo, please, Spirit. Please tune me into Leo's energy. Please help me offer Leo the most clear, honest messages for their reading. The Lions, it is your season, so happy birthday to any Leo suns celebrating in the rest of August, or at least for the next 2 weeks in August. Spirit, what can you tell us about Leo's career? Oh, the 12th house with the full moon at the back of the deck. Interesting. Wow. So I do think for the 12th house to be here, look at that. We have 2 sort of not endings, but culminations. A full moon, and they're both reversed. You have to tie up loose ends in your career emotionally. There's something that's unresolved here, and it's niggling and nagging, and it may feel like it's something you can bury. It's not that deep. But if you are a Leo in any aspect related to your career, you need to be in places that allow you to, first of all, be recognized for what you do, but secondly, that align with that beautiful big heart of yours. It has to feel like the work that you're doing reaches people, helps someone, or makes a positive impact, even if it's just for a moment, even if the rest of it is really at least in that moment, in that exchange, that person is smiling and they're connecting and they feel happy and warm in your energy. So something happened here in your career that was the opposite of what you value, believe, and want. And personally speaking, it created conflict that hasn't been resolved yet. You may have been able to remove yourself from that environment, but the issue of what happened and the feelings that were stirred are residual. So why do they need to know this, Spirit? How is this helpful for Leo's career? Right? Because if I'm going to be telling you to work on this, like, why? We need to know why. Why does Leo need to know this, Spirit? How is it helpful for their career? I think it might make you feel better, first of all, but this is a career reading, not a life guidance reading. So Five of Wands reversed. We are at risk of going from the frying pan into the fire. That's why it's important. You don't want to go from one challenging, competitive environment to another, especially if you have left one job and you're applying for another one, or you've been offered something else. You've got to be very careful, because for some reason when it comes to work, you're very uncannily drawn towards places that put you in environments where it's you versus your colleagues, or it's you versus your clients or your customers. Like, it feels unnecessarily tense, competitive, and challenging. So the purpose of this in your reading is to try to minimize some of that stress, some of that pressure, and also some of that tension, because you don't need that in your life right now. With the King of Cups reversed, it keeps coming back. A lot of the fire signs are going through it right now. So the King of Cups reversed is, again, that feeling of not being seen, not being heard, and of being in situations that challenge your emotional maturity. You know what to do and you know how to act in a mature way, but the situation is calling for you to do the opposite. It's triggering you and it's making you want to act out. It's making you want to defend yourself, but it's also making you feel like whoever is in that situation with you, they're not respecting you, your feelings, and your depth. So be aware of that and try to find something in this transitionary period that is less challenging and less tense as that. Obviously, that's an ideal world. Maybe you can't leave your job. Maybe you need to pay your bills. So what I do think would be best is negotiating peace wherever you can find it. If that means working independently or with people who you gel better with in environments that feel less stressful. At times, if you're a shift worker, that are less stressful, or in spaces or with people who, again, are less stressful. That's like a good short-term fix until you can find something better. But there are better days coming, and if you have left that environment, you are being protected and taken care of. A blessing is on its way. Confirmation is already here, but there's just lingering feelings that you need to address so that you don't repeat that stressful situation in your next job or your next career chapter. That's what I'm seeing for you, Leo. Let's move forward. Oh, I'm so glad that resonated, Chloe. Sending you so much love. It was, I've been thinking about a lot of signs, but Sag does stick out for obvious reasons. In those readings, we really get into it, those monthly readings. And Angie, welcome. I hope that was helpful for you. Let's have a look at Scorpio now. Spirit, please tune me into Scorpio's energy. Please help me offer Scorpio the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Okay. Scorpio has a very different feeling after those two fire signs and an earth sign. So we're into some water now, some very deep water. Spirit, what does Scorpio need to know about their career? Okay, we have two cards for Scorpio, or Scorpio coming out for Scorpio. I love that Scorpio is showing up for itself. Big Leo mood. Show up for yourself this month. Take that into Virgo too, because I think that the Virgo energy is going to be about self as well. It usually is, I've noticed. It usually is, but Virgo season seems to be about really correcting boundaries and making sure that we're prioritizing ourselves. Sagittarius at the back of the deck. How interesting. So, waxing crescent moon, let's talk about that first. It feels like for your career right now, Scorpio, the message is to keep pushing through. Either you're very close to achieving something, you're very close to finally getting some time off, or you're very close to finishing something that you've been working on, or you're very close to getting through a busy period at work. Keep pushing through. This experience is preparing you for a new cycle, but it is also a part of some sort of learning curve. So what is this learning curve about, Spirit? Sagittarius's energy reversed. You need to know what you should be saying yes to and what you should be saying no to within your role, and trying to bring attention to people who don't pick up the slack, in that they get away with being free spirits in the workplace. They get away with being lucky and blessed and given all the good jobs and favored, and they get to laugh for 2 hours of their day while you're finishing off the paperwork. You're being seen for what you do. Your effort is being noticed, but for some reason you don't get the verbal recognition, the tangible recognition. People aren't coming to you every day and saying, oh my God, Scorpio, I saw what you did today. It was incredible. I've been keeping track of your progress. You were completing your tasks 50% ahead of everybody else's time. Like, nobody's doing that. But energetically, and in terms of someone who's either at a higher level than you, is noticing your work ethic. They're noticing how much you're taking on board, not just with your workload, but with your personal life and with your relationship to others. Instead of coming across as confrontational about people who aren't doing what they need to do, you have a very quiet way of processing that anger, and that's being appreciated by people who don't want to fill out the paperwork if there's a dispute or a disagreement. So it will pay off. If you need to take time off in the next 3 months, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to book it in and to ask for that favor, because what you're doing is being noticed as phenomenal. Even if they don't verbalize it, you're doing more than what you are expected to do, and your standard of work is higher than that of your colleagues. So if you need to take some time off, take it. If you need to ask for a favor, do it. Get a reference, do it. Recommendation, do it. Get some performance feedback, ask for a raise, all of that stuff, because you're very close to reaching some sort of high so that you can go ghost mode almost, it feels like. Either leave this job or take some time off or not be as busy, redelegate some of the duties that you're carrying. That's what this feels like, especially with Scorpio here upright. You're shouldering a lot of the tension, the stress, the frustration, and you're not able to enjoy yourself as much as you used to at work. So Spirit, what can Tarot say to help Scorpio's career right now? What tarot card will be most helpful for Scorpio with their career? Okay, there we go. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, I'm hearing, I can't remember who sings it. It's a rock song. I'm coming undone. Too late, I'm coming undone. Dun, dun. I can just hear the guitar and the lead singer. But that's literally what's coming out for this. I'm coming undone. So I think it's time to, take some of that time off. That thank you, Corn. I thought so. Thank you, Beth. Oh, I could see the font. I just couldn't see the word. Does that make sense? Like the corn font. I was like, what is that? But the red corn font. Maybe it was from a t-shirt or something. So I do think that now is the time to really look at working less, like really put in a plan to take some time off, some active time off. So time that is actively resting, that is actively not about work, whether it's because your other areas of your life need more focus or you as a human being need to be a human being again. So I do feel like this Eight of Pentacles reversed is about working less, because usually in the opposite, we're dedicating our effort. When it's upright, we're putting in more time, more quality. You can afford to do less. Other people should really be picking up where you're doing too much. So the Star card reversed, yeah, people are noticing you, people are seeing you, are witnessing your magnificence and how much you're doing, but you're just not getting as much praise for it as you used to. You're not getting as much recognition, and you're also not getting the best advice. Your workplace may be at a point where they're giving you the advice that you know isn't right for you. They're telling you like, hey, can you stay back? I would really appreciate it. We're flat out, or we need you to do this, when you know actually you don't need me. You need this person to get their head out of the clouds. You need to be better at managing us. Like, you have your own opinions, but your advice is to really do what is best for you. The Star card, think of yourself and let other people do the same, because that's what they've been doing. They've been thinking about themselves. You have a bit of a reputation at work as someone who's like the unsung MVP. You hold yourself together in a way that is an important part of the culture in the workplaces that you're at. And you just haven't been shining as bright as you usually are. And that's something that people are noticing, but again, no one's saying it. So please look after yourself, look after your shine, and make time to shine bright. Rihanna, diamonds. I did know that one. So let's move forward. That's what I'm seeing for you, Scorpio. Sending you a lot of love. I hope that was helpful. Let us move to Cancer. Spirit, tune me into Cancer's energy, please. Another water sign. Wow. Spirit, what can we offer Cancer in terms of guidance about their career right now? What does Cancer need to know about their career right now? Ooh, we have Yod. Okay. At the back of the deck is fixed energy. Interesting. I do feel like there's something very grounded about this. There's something very like, just stick with it. Dig your heels in. Be a bit stubborn. Don't succumb to other people's pressure or opinions, or you may be feeling like it's 2 against 1 here. You're kind of backed into the corner when it comes to what you're able to do, what your opinions are, your input in general. Could be feeling like instead of working as a team, there's 2 people working together and you're just kind of left with whatever they don't want to do. Not really working together, not really effective teamwork. But why is it also coming onto you like this? Are you using this to your advantage so that you can get something that you want? It's very interesting. It does make me think that there is something here that's repeated as well, because this sign or this pattern is connected to cycles. So is a cycle repeating and you're kind of sitting here going, oh wow, not again. I thought we'd gotten through this. Why do I have to go through this again? Why am I experiencing this again? A cycle that causes a lot of stress, but also pressure and scrutiny is what's coming through, because you have these 2 aspects looking at you, and it doesn't feel like you can avoid this time. You have to confront it. This is pretty big. Now, Yod has a huge, like a really, it kind of, how do I word this? It kind of has a connection to ancestral patterns is what I want to say. So it comes with it of quite a big weight. In a career reading, there could be money patterns or cycles that you've learned from your ancestors, or you could be trying to break out of financial patterns that are intergenerational. Does that make sense? Like really trying to find a way to work with the cards you were dealt when you were born, but also create a new game that you're more successful in. Especially with the fixed energy here. Let's see if we can get some tarot out to clarify what this message is about. Spirit, what does Cancer need to know about their career right now? What helpful guidance can you give them? Two of Wands, it's now or never. You can't go back, you can only go forward. So I do feel like with the Two of Wands here, this is pretty fixed for a reason. Like you don't have any other options in your career. It's time to move forward. We can't go back. We don't really have an option. We just need to work with what we've got. But when it comes to your career, I also think that for some of you, you're trying to make the most out of what you have right now, while also trying to imagine, well, okay, what could I pivot into if I wanted to? You're trying to, it seems like you're trying to build your aspirations outside of your career. You're trying to stick to a bigger plan, but right now it's really just about dealing with what you have and trying to make the most out of what you have. The Knight of Cups emphasizes the actions that you're taking and why. It's confirming that the best thing that you can do right now is try to be a good person, make sure your intentions are in the right place, and when you take actions in your career, keep that sense of emotional value in what you're doing. Don't just burn bridges and leave type of thing. Don't just take everything personally if other people are also stressed. It's a hard position to be in, but I guess that's something that a Cancer sign is very used to. You pick up a lot of the emotional burden in stressful, challenging situations where other people don't know how to handle their emotions. And so if you need to scream and shout, let it out, that's okay, because you're taking on a lot of other people's emotional burdens as well. The Knight of Cups is an interesting advice in your career. It's saying lead with your heart, have good intentions, and when you need to act, make sure your actions align with your values of being a good person, of, you know, practicing those good morals as well. It makes me question like what's going on in your career and what other people are doing, because the eyes closed is interesting. It's like, I don't care what they're doing. I don't want to look at what they're doing. You know, they could be lying, cheating, and stealing, but I'm just going to focus on me. I'm just going to focus on being a good person. I need to show up, pay my bills, and go home, or I need to put money away and get out of this neighborhood. That's my goal. Whatever it is, it's like, stick to your plan. Don't get distracted by what other people are doing, and just make sure that you are leading with your heart in what you do. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Cancer. I'm so glad that was helpful, Burned Lasagna. Thank you for that feedback. Who are we up to? Aries. Wow, that was pretty quick. Okay, Spirit, please tune me into Aries energy. Please help me offer Aries the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Spirit, what does Aries need to know about their career? Whoa. Wow. Okay, a bit too many cards, but we'll deal with it. 9th house, number 6. I was going to say 6th house, but nope. And 11 at the back of the deck is 5 reversed. So you're coming out of a change, Aries. You've tried to do something different and you're still feeling the awkwardness of that change. It's not completely over yet. You're still transitioning, or you're still developing the changes. You're still working with the changes in your career. And you're still questioning your choices. Should I change my change? Can I still go back and change the way that I was going to change this, or should I just stick it out? So questioning a lot of what you're doing and how that's affecting a shift in your career. The ninth house indicates big plans, big horizons, a lot of expansion, maybe even studying right now to get better at what you do, absorbing experience and insight and wisdom from other people who are doing things differently to you, and trying to cultivate a bigger picture when it comes to your career. This could mean that you have a renewed sense of purpose in your career, a renewed sense of direction, where you're feeling very passionate, very focused on your career in a way where you're trying to level up your experience and what you have to offer. With 6 and 11 here, you still feel like a student. Even if you're incredibly educated, experienced, and skilled, there's an element here of I'm still learning. And I think you might be putting a lot of pressure on yourself to do some pretty big things at a very quick pace. I'm not saying you can't pull it off. I'm just saying that that's something that's coming through as part of your challenge right now in your career, is how much you put on yourself. Because we do see you going from a 5 to a 6, and even though the 6 is upright, indicating you do have a feeling of harmony and a sense of, okay, this is working, you're still questioning, am I doing enough? Did I change enough? Should I do this instead? Well, what about what they're doing? Maybe they're doing it better. What can I do to be better? Which isn't a bad thing. Let's see what Tarot has to say about advice and guidance. Spirit, is there any advice or guidance from this deck that you can offer Aries when it comes to their career? What card would best support Aries' career right now? What card would best support Aries' career? Okay, we have the 8 of Cups. 6 of Pentacles showing up as a blockage. At the back of the deck is the Queen of Cups. So your emotions as well are connected to your career path. Let's talk about the 8 of Cups first. It came out first. It's indicating that your career is at a point where it needs to progress because it's not fulfilling. It's not making you happy. It's not aligned with your personal beliefs, and it's not aligned with your personal well-being, full stop. Like, it's not that deep. It's just not making you happy. So I do feel like this is bigger than work. It's how work works for your existence as a human being. You guys may need to just step out. You know what I mean? Like, take a little bit of time away from this pressure and get out of your environment with this 9th house energy. Experience other things, other places, other people, other careers. Entertain the idea without committing to it. Just, a taste of this, a taste of that. Don't uproot everything and relocate. But just go out and explore a little bit. Get your feelers out there, because you're an Aries. You need to feel inspired and passionate and about something at any given time. And when that's taken away for a long time, it can just feel like, goodness, what is the meaning of life? It can get very dark, and it shouldn't. So when it comes to your career, it's not fulfilling. A cycle is ending to allow for more emotional fulfillment. And your guidance is to accept those feelings. Accept the fact that you're not happy. With the 6 of Pentacles as a blockage, there's a lot of I owe you that is keeping you there. You may feel like you have an obligation to this job or this career. You may feel like you owe the people that you're working for or showing up for. And by all means, you may also have very real responsibilities like a loan or some sort of contract that needs to be fulfilled. You can't just quit that. So just take a temporary pause to, look at the bigger picture stuff as you've been doing, and to check in with your human heart and just go, well, what does make me happy? How can I do this and still feel happy? What else can I do to create that sense of passion and purpose? Now, if work has been getting better, you do need to end that cycle that has been causing you to feel emotionally unfulfilled. So by all means, continue doing what feels good and end that cycle of unfulfillment once and for all. Handle those responsibilities, but there are solutions. You're not actually tied into this. You don't have to keep doing this. If you do look at the bigger picture, there are some solutions that can help you get out of this cycle so that you're not just a slave to this system and depleted of everything that makes you you. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Aries. I hope that was helpful. Honor your feelings, trust your intuition. Those feelings won't go away. They've just been getting worse. I hope that was helpful advice, though. You've got this. Thank you, Aries. Let's move forward. Who do we have next? I've already forgotten. Oh, Taurus. Wow. And Virgo. So 2 earth signs next. These are our last earth signs as well. Pretty sure that was our last fire sign too. Spirit, please tune me into Taurus's energy. Please help me offer Taurus the most clear, honest messages about their career, from the first sign to the second sign. Spirit, what does Taurus need to know about their career? Oh, that's awesome, burnt lasagna. I'm so glad. Oh, wow. I'm sorry if that was really loud. All the cards just smashed into the microphone. I did not mean to do that, obviously, but lucky they didn't go all over the floor. So new moon, last quarter. Both our cards are about the moon and cycles of the moon. So I do think that the next new moon could be very important, Taurus, in giving you clarity and helping you feel like, okay, I know what I need to do. There is a strong sense of need here. Work has a sense of purpose at the moment, and you are trying to find the answer to a solution or to a problem, the solution to a problem, or you're trying to figure things out and work through some kinks right now. The next new moon represents a new cycle in your career where you're leading with clarity. You're leading with, I have goals and I'm pursuing them. I have an agenda and I'm working towards it. I have structure and I'm going to attempt to, repeat it throughout my week. Now, I want to be very clear. You guys need to be careful about putting too much pressure on your day to day. It's not realistic right now. Your day to day could look very different. So the best thing you could do is look at your month at your work. What do you need to achieve within the month? And then each day, write down a little task representative of that. If you're just looking at your day and saying, this is everything I need to do today, you're going to get very defeated because your day seems to naturally take a turn, become busier, or just have unexpected plot twists where you need to be flexible. And that's what these 2 cards are talking about. So the best thing you can do to try to get structure or accountability or to meet your key performance targets is to look at your month, not your day. With that being said, the last quarter is encouraging you to be reflective within your career, to be actively reflecting on your last month, because there's a helpful process as a Taurus in doing that, where you're naturally going to be empathetic when you connect the dots of, oh, that was the week that I was late, I had an appointment, we were understaffed, now wonder I didn't meet my key performance targets. So that reflection will help you actually empathize with past self and go, wait a minute, of course I wasn't going to do well that week. There was a lot that happened. And it's also going to help you learn and go, okay, well then this week I may need to pick up a bit more slack. And the opposite, maybe you are able to recognize, oh my God, I'm doing so well. Now that I'm actually reflecting and tracking, I'm actually doing a lot better than what I thought. I can afford to slow down a little bit, breathe for the rest of the month and take some time off. So that's what's coming through first. Let's see what Tarot has to say as well. Spirit, what does Taurus need to know about their career? It would be helpful. I don't say this a lot because I don't always believe comparison is helpful, but compare yourself to yourself and then compare yourself to who you want to be. Don't compare yourself to other people. I think there's a lot of environments in the workplace that do that. And look, I'm not here to take away from other people's management style, but if you're going to self-manage, compare yourself to your past self and to the future self that you want to be. That's what's going to be really helpful for you, rather than comparing yourself to a colleague, to a competitor, or to, somebody who you don't know from Adam. At the back of the deck is the Five of Wands. There's that comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy with the Five of Wands reversed. So we don't need to increase stress, competition, but we do need to, for some reason, get better. There's something here about trying to get better. We can't be doing what we've been doing. We have to try to improve. And practice makes perfect with divine wisdom. Everything is a part of practice. So you're allowed to make mistakes. I think that a lot of different workplaces that are very driven or have competitive key performance targets or indicators, they are very, you have to be, perfect. You can't make mistakes. That could have been a sale. Just because you said this word, that's what triggered it. Like, there's a lot of pressure there to be perfect, but really divine wisdom reminds us that the only way we learn is by making mistakes, and we need to reflect on those mistakes to be able to get better. So instead of focusing on the mistakes, focus on the reflection. That language is a bit softer and it's more centered around growing rather than criticizing. Divine wisdom is also highlighting that when it comes to your career, you're actually very knowledgeable. You may have life, what's the word? The only thing that's coming to my brain is street knowledge, but obviously it's bigger than that. It's like life skills that are very valuable. Wisdom through life experience that is very valuable. It may not translate to a diploma of business accounting, but it can be very valuable in other ways. So draw on those qualities, especially if you're good at working under pressure, working under, intense environments, in high risk environments, or if you're someone who's able to be what's the word, like a team leader. And if you're more of an independent worker, use that to your advantage as well. For some of you, I feel like you're applying for jobs. And I think the best thing that you can do is use a skill-based resume that focuses on your skills and your experience instead of your qualifications. It's a lot more words, but you can present it in a really attractive format so that people are reading about you as a person, not just you as a number, you as a statistic. It's a lot more friendly, and it's different too. So on the other end of things, when you're reading that kind of application, you get a better sense of who's applying for the job. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful. I hope that gives you a little bit of affirmation about the journey that you're on when it comes to your career. Let's have a look at who is next now. Virgo, that's right. How did I forget that fast? It's very tuned into Taurus. Spirit, please tune me into Virgo's energy. Please help me offer Virgo the most clear, honest messages about their reading. For Virgo, what do they need to know about their career? Virgo's career. Interesting. We have Ascendant in Chiron. At the back of this deck is Taurus again. Welcome back. Taurus is reversed. What's going on, Virgo? Ascendant upright, Chiron upright. This is pretty big for a career reading. Of course, it's the earth signs that are, well, it's obviously other signs too, but this is pretty deep for a career reading. I think Scorpio and Sagittarius had pretty deep, and it actually Cancer did too, let's be honest. So this kind of feels like, first of all, I don't even know how to say this because it's bigger than your career, but I do think that with Taurus reversed, flexibility above all, self-care, self-preservation above all right now, more than your career goals, your career path. You really need to just be taking care of yourself, prioritizing yourself, and doing what feels right, even if it changes. If today it feels right to wake up early and to do a morning routine before you even get ready for your day, then that's fine. But don't put that pressure on yourself to do the same thing tomorrow. If tomorrow it feels better to sleep in and to snooze your alarm 3 times, then that's fine. I think you need to be very flexible with your routine, with your habits, and just do what feels right. That is coming from a place of self-preservation, taking care of yourself. So when it comes to your money, you do need to take a step back. There's been some unexpected things pop up that you've had to spend money on. These things could have been, completely unexpected but necessary. You had to replace the tire on your car, for example, or you had to go to the doctor and get a medical certificate, or you had to take your kid out of school and pick up some medicine. Whatever it is, it feels like there's some unexpected things that pop up and you take that as a sign of like, I'm losing control, or I don't feel like I'm doing the right thing, or I'm not making the progress that I wanted. So when we're so focused on the little things, we forget the bigger picture. And with Taurus reversed in your finances, taking that step back and looking at the bigger picture could help you see that it's okay. Life is unexpected, and these little things don't stop you from gaining traction every other time that you showed up for work. You know what I mean? That might help you just humanize yourself a little bit and be less self-critical. With the Ascendant and Chiron, I really feel like this is about addressing some reoccurring self-image issues, for lack of a better word. I don't like using that though, because it just feels like, it feels strong, but I think that that's how you see it. Now, if your Virgo influence is strong, then this is a strong message. Otherwise, you've probably got other signs impacting your career, but I think that you put yourself through a lot continually. This is a recurring, for it to be Chiron, it's a recurring theme of constantly feeling like you're not doing enough, or constantly pushing yourself for your elite form, to just level up and be the best of the best of the best of the best. And no matter how much you achieve, it just never quite is enough. There's always a better version of yourself in the next task that you put yourself to. So while this is highly ambitious, that's why the Taurus energy is coming into play, because you do need to humanize yourself as well. You're not just a machine who's expected to be the best of the best of the best. It's making me think of Men in Black every time I say that. The best of the best of the best, sir. So, just humanizing yourself a little bit. Spirit, what else does Virgo need to know about their careers, or anything helpful here? The truth is, this kind of work ethic does make you very good at getting stuff done. So what can I say that is helpful? Other than look after yourself, please, and be more kind when you wake up in the mornings. Dark Veil reversed, 8 of Wands reversed, Nine of Cups upright. honestly, what's missing in your career is fun, with the feeling of like, I'm genuinely happy right now. I don't feel stressed. I don't feel like I need to rush to my next appointment. I don't feel like I'm always under the pump. That's something that needs to be worked on in your career. Just being able to enjoy what you're doing again and finding happiness out of what you do without the pressure, without the constant momentum of being stuck on a roller coaster of a spiral where it's just fast, 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 next, go, let's, keep going, don't lose momentum. You're allowed to take time off, you're allowed to slow down, and you should have balance. You shouldn't just always be go, go, go. So with this dark veil, I think your closing advice is to really examine this cycle once and for all. Be aware of how you put yourself under that pressure, but how you also seek out environments and jobs that do this to you. You may enter a space that is very chill, and then you find ways to make it more intense, more complicated, more stressful. So it's time to confront that and to be really aware of that, because right now you need more fulfillment, you need more happiness, you need more time to just enjoy what you're doing for work as well. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Virgo. Thank you for your energy. I hope that was helpful. Who do we have next? Pisces. And then Gemini, 2 mutable signs. So Spirit, please tune me into Pisces energy. Please help me offer Pisces the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Okay, Spirit, what does Pisces need to know about their career? North Node, South Node. And fixed energy at the back of the deck. I'm going to go ahead and pull your tarot out straight away as well. Spirit, what guidance do you have for Pisces when it comes to their career? Okay, we got to take these two. We have the Hierophant and the Tower. Pretty big guidance. Justice at the back of the deck, and it's reversed. So, oh goodness. What does this mean for them? Big energy. At a turning point, a crossroads. Do I go forward? You may be feeling very reflective of what you've been through, of past experiences, past career experiences, work experiences. And it does feel like you're at a turning point where you're having to decide on whether to keep doing something or on whether to take a leap towards something new in your future. You are feeling directed as well. Somebody is either giving you advice or they're mentoring you towards taking up this new cycle. With this being a 5, the Hierophant does represent change, but it represents structured change, either through schooling or through some sort of, again, mentorship. You're being prepared for more. And yes, that means more responsibility, but it also means more success. So I do think that this approach is going to pay off. You are coming through as someone who's transitioning into more success. But I think that this is the kind of turning point in your life that affects more than just your career. For the Tower to be here reversed, what's happening in your career and the success that you're being prepared for is affecting your lifestyle, your relationships, how you spend your time, the things that you're interested in. And you may find yourself fiercely clinging on to an older version of yourself when you're not at work, trying to really hold on to who you were for the sake of the people who know you now. They don't get to see you at work, so they don't know why you're changing. They expect you to still be the Pisces that they've known for the past how many years or however long they've known you. So your Pisces energy is in like 2 worlds right now. Becoming a better person and humbly being a student while you are on this process, while also really holding on to someone you've outgrown. So with the Justice card reversed, I feel like you guys may be declining opportunities just because you feel like it's not the right time. You don't want to take on that much right now. You don't want to be that person yet. Or you may find yourself caught between career ambition and being the right person for those that you love. You could feel like the choices that you're making in your career directly affect or conflict with a relationship, either a romantic relationship or a commitment you've made to family or friends. So there's a lot of conflicting energy here. And at the end of the day, when you make your decision, you have to make sure that you're not sacrificing what you could do for what you want to do, just because right now that person is really important to you. I do think that this won't be the last time you get this opportunity. There will be future opportunities to, try out something more. And I also think that with this fixed energy, ultimately what I say isn't going to change what you're going to do. But I do think that you may regret this choice. Even if it takes 2 years, you'll look back and go, I really wish I just followed through with that traineeship, or was on board with that internship, or I really wish I just signed that contract. So with the Tower card reversed, you're coming from a space of trying not to disrupt too much of what feels normal for you right now. You don't want to throw yourself into the unknown and just get consumed with instability. You don't want to lose this person that you're in a relationship right now with, or you don't want to take on too much responsibility. And that's fine to recognize that threshold. But I just feel like you're not actually making this choice for yourself. You're sacrificing an opportunity for somebody who has strong opinions about how you should be living your life right now. So that's what's coming through. It's very reflective. It's not really advice, because at the end of the day, you're going to choose to do what you want to do. But it is some information, some objective perspective on your circumstances with a certain bias, because I'm here doing a career reading. I'm not doing a relationship reading. So use your discernment, and I hope that that was helpful for your journey. I hope you're able to just take that and think about it a little bit before you make this choice. See how you go. Thank you, Pisces. Let's move forward. Gemini. Oh my gosh, Gemini, you're my third last sign. Spirit, please tune me into Gemini's energy. Please help me offer Gemini the most clear, honest messages for their reading. What does Gemini need to know about their career, Spirit? What does Gemini need to know about their career? We have masculine reversed, and we have water at the back of the deck. Straight away, I just feel a very soft energy here. Why is masculine in here in the first place? Is it other people? And then we have Pisces on top of Scorpio and Cancer, which makes me think that when it comes to your career, there's something that you really want to do, but it may, again, similar to Pisces, it may not be what this person wants you to do. Let's see what Tarot says. Spirit, what does Gemini need to know about their career? What advice? Oh, Hierophant reversed. Similar to Pisces for sure. But with the Judgment card reversed, this isn't a new revelation. This is something you've been thinking and feeling. And right now is what feels like the time to have to revisit this. You're revisiting this idea, this revelation, this moment, this clarity. It's kind of like, do I do it now or do I wait? When it comes to your career, you could be thinking about making some pretty big changes. Trying to really change your lifestyle with the Hierophant card. trying to live a softer life, like work less, not have to really show up with so much energy for work every day. You could be feeling burnt out, sweet soul. That's what this really feels like. Masculine energy reverse, Pisces up top. You could be feeling very burnt out. First of all, with Pisces here and the water card in general, your advice is to honor your feelings, honor how you feel, honor the way that those feelings are coming through. Because as a Gemini, you've been thinking about it. You've tried to ignore it. You've tried to brush it off. You've tried to express, and it's still there. So if that wasn't working, these feelings are real. They're not just fleeting. They're not just temporary. They're residual and they're meaningful. And they're strongly encouraging you to reassess your lifestyle, your routine, how much you're working, and what kind of goals you're working towards with your career. Some of you need an exit plan. You need to get advice from a financial planner, or you need to get advice from somebody outside of your work about how you can make the most out of this while also having a better, more balanced lifestyle. It does feel like slowing down. It feels like trying to look after yourself after being under a lot of pressure at work. And it also feels like an exit plan, like trying to either change careers or get out of what you're doing now and transitioning into something less stressful, less intense. That's what this feels like. Pretty straightforward. That's what's coming through. Yeah. You need a strategy. You need a sense of, what am I doing this for, and when do I know when to stop? Because, God, this is taking a lot of energy. I don't have much more to give. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for you. I hope that was helpful, Gemini. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have Aquarius next. Oh, you're so welcome, Beth. Hi, Naya. Hi, Jen. Oh my gosh, I've been so tuned in. I haven't looked at the chat, but welcome, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Spirit, please tune me into Aquarius's energy. Please help me offer Aquarius the most clear, honest messages about their career. Spirit, what can you tell Aquarius about their career right now? We have new moon. Interesting. At the back of the deck is Capricorn reversed. Okay. Similar to Gemini and Pisces, I'm going to shuffle out the tarot as well. Spirit, what guidance can you offer Aquarius when it comes to their career? Whoa. Nine of Cups reversed. Interesting message. With this Judgment energy here, well, it's back because it was just in our last reading. It feels a little bit different with Capricorn as well. It's kind of hinting at paying attention to what you already know about your career and really following through with those plans. So this is about what you already know you should be doing and sticking to that plan because you know it works for you. This is especially in the case where you've been in a career for a few years now and you've had time to develop a good work lifestyle balance, or this is in the case where you're starting a new career and you have a plan that you're going to use that's different to what your last job was like. And in this plan, you're trying to set yourself up for that positive work-life balance. Now, there's also a message here about side hustles with Capricorn reversed. I do feel like in this case, a lot of what's happening, it feels like there's a new beginning, but there's also an undercurrent of an existing thing. Does that make sense? So with the new beginning, it's going to be hard to juggle unless you're sticking to what you've already prepared. So that's where that working with what you know is going to come in handy. With that being said, for the Nine of Cups to be reversed, I do see you sacrificing a lot of time to do the things that you want to do in order to make this happen. So this guidance reading is just emphasizing what you've already decided about your career and what you are preparing to sacrifice in order to make this new beginning happen. With that being said, Judgment is here to say you don't have to stick to the original plan. You should be reevaluating, reassessing as you go along and just assessing like, okay, so what should I do this week? Last week I did this. Wasn't quite helpful. Maybe I need more time in the morning. Maybe I need more time to wind down. Maybe with my new project, I need to do a little bit less because I'm needing to work on what I've been doing. So it kind of feels like your advice is about just learning as you go with Judgment reversed, paying attention to your wisdom, to what your experience is showing you, and reassessing, readjusting your effort accordingly. You are being given the green light here to move forward with your intentions. There is success, but there's also a lot of learning on the way. And I do think that the emotional fulfillment will come. It's just like in the beginning, it just feels like it's a lot. There's not a lot of time to just smell the flowers and skip along. You know what I mean? It's a little bit intense for Capricorn to be reversed. Just seeing if there's anything else that's coming through. I do feel like this is really expanding your opportunities in your career. I think that this is going to lead to more. And in the immediate future, this is just your message for right now. Because it really just seems to propel and turn into more quite quickly. So that is what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius. Very interesting. There's a lot happening there. So it'll be interesting to see what comes through in your where are we? September reading. Let's have a look now at 7th house. I just have to go blow my nose, sweet souls. I'll be back. Okay, sorry, I'm back. This isn't 7th house energy, by the way. I was distracted by my nose. It is Libra energy. As you may know, Libra is missing from this deck for some reason. So we use 7th house instead, only because Libra's ruler Venus is also shared with Taurus. So it just makes sense to use the 7th house. Spirit, Oh my gosh, this is our last sign. Hi, Morningstar. Welcome. Wow. Love it. I've read for all those signs, so we just have Libra last. Spirit, please tune me into Libra's energy. Please help me offer Libra the most clear, honest messages about their career. What does Libra need to know about their career, Spirit? Oh, I'm going to shuffle that again because that's too many cards. What does Libra need to know? Thank you. Wow. 8th house energy, finishing strong. Pisces as well. I kind of feel like right now, you're being called to hold on to something. Don't let go yet. Just hold on to it, make the most out of it, and transform it as you can without just ending it. Does that make sense? Because Pisces is reversed. It's like, no, don't let go of it yet. Try to make the most out of it. Make whatever changes you can in that job or in that situation first, and then think about leaving or finding something else. So transforming what you have and trying to make the most out of it. The 8th house energy is intense though. So I don't want to take away from any of the pressure or stress that you may be feeling. This is a lot. But it wouldn't show up like this unless there was still more to gain. So it feels like the risk of leaving outweighs the reward of staying right now. Does that make sense? You can gain more if you just stay a little bit longer. Now, your career is also showing a lot of like transformative energy, which usually comes through when you're under the pump. You're putting a lot of pressure or emotion or energy into what you're doing here. And it is making you think, why did I agree to do this? Why am I working so hard? Why am I so stressed? But there's all of that heaviness that comes with that kind of intensity. But it isn't all for nothing. There's a hint that now is not the right time to leave, because sticking to this will be far more rewarding. A better opportunity will come, or this is going to change and it won't always be this intense, this stressful. Let's see what Tarot has to say as well, Libra. Spirit, when it comes to Libra's career, what guidance can you offer them about their career? For Libra, we have 4 of Pentacles. Wow. The Pentacles have really shown up in this reading, all the earth energy. 6 of Wands. I do feel like, Libra, your career, like this is more about holding on to what you have and just trying to hold it down for now. Trying to find some sort of stability, sticking to what you currently have right now, and saving. Money seems to also be important. Putting money away, having an emergency bank account, or just having some sort of security, financial security, like a backup sort of account or a backup fund is really, an emergency fund is really important as well. Could just be because of the cost of living. It's not ideal to walk away and start a new career right now. It costs a lot of money. So this is about preparing for bigger changes in the future by adding more security in your present. The 6 of Wands is actually encouraging you to speak up more at work and to ask for more recognition. I think that whatever you're doing to earn money deserves more recognition. It deserves more praise. Like, is it that hard to say thank you for your work? You know what I mean? Like, I really think, and don't know if you're very comfortable in doing that, but you deserve more recognition. And your advice is to make sure with the Six of Wands that you have a good reputation in whatever you're doing, which could be influenced by making sure that you have a good reference, making sure that the people that you're working with have a good impression of you, so that when and if you do move forward, you know, it might be a smaller pool of talent and word spreads fast. You just want to make sure that your reputation is good as well. So I think you're the best sign to communicate that to. Being a Libra, use your charm. Make sure that people have that awareness of how you bring a positive culture into your workplace with the Six of Wands, how you can have a good energy to be around, and that goes a long way as well. Focusing on culture could be really important when you do want to expand out of where you're currently at, whether you're looking for a new job or applying for a new position or just trying to find a way out of what you're doing right now. Focus on the culture of the place and feeling like you are going to be supported in the way that you need to be supported. I think praise is really important for you, but you also value constructive feedback, not just criticism. You don't want people to just tell you, oh, you're not doing it right. Okay, that's not helpful. You need people who are able to actually support you because they want you to do good. And I think you're also at that point in your journey where you're reevaluating ways to make money because you don't want work to be your whole life right now, and that's fair as well. But I think some of you have gotten very attached to a certain lifestyle that would require a lot of pressure, responsibility, or effort from you. So that's something you need to think about too. There's a lot. At the end of the day, something's got to give. When we look at money, we're working with very tangible things. So if this is what you want, you are going to need to work for it. Otherwise, reassess what you need and re-examine the places that you expect to receive what you need as well. Make sure they have the right cultures that support you for who you are and for what your needs are. It sounds easy, obviously it's not, but I hope it was helpful. I hope that that gives you the information you need to make the most out of your career right now. Thank you so much, Libra. Thank you everybody who was able to tune in, especially if you're still watching now. And until we meet again, I wish you all peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. It was definitely a very quick reading compared to my last all signs reading, but I hope it is the career reading that we needed right now, even if it wasn't the reading that we wanted. Look after your beautiful selves. Thank you, everybody. Bye.